One of WWE's hottest acts right now looks to be signing a new long-term deal with the promotion. PW Insider reported on Thursday that LA Knight and WWE have been negotiating a new contract. The contract is reportedly either being finalized or has already been signed, with PW Insider writing that some sources believe that the new deal is up to 5 years. With fans chanting his catchphrases everywhere WWE goes, the 40-year-old Knight has caught fire with the audience in recent months. He's gotten victories at back-to-back pay-per-view events. At SummerSlam, LA Knight got to have a featured moment where he won the SummerSlam Battle Royal that was sponsored by Slim Jim. Knight then defeated The Miz at Payback last weekend. John Cena served as the special guest referee for the match. John Cena then showed respect to LA Knight after the match by shaking his hand and raising Knight's arm in the air. LA Knight debuted for WWE at NXT Vengeance Day in February 2021. Before that, he was a star for Impact Wrestling and the NWA as Eli Drake. The WWE-UFC merger is expected to be finalized next week. Endeavor and WWE announced today that the deal for Endeavor to purchase WWE and merge the company with UFC to create TKO Group Holdings is expected to close on September 12th. Endeavor revealed in their Q2 earnings release last month that they expected the deal to close mid to late September. Layoffs of company employees are widely expected in the wake of the deal closing. Endeavor CEO Ari Emanuel has stated that there are plans for cost savings and synergies resulting from the merger. Ace Steel is reportedly done with AEW. As first reported by PW Insider and confirmed by our own Dave Meltzer, the former coach and producer was released from the promotion today, 5 days after CM Punk was fired with cause. This is the second time within a year that AEW has released Ace Steel. He was fired from the promotion last October, stemming from his involvement in the Brawl Out altercation backstage at All Out 2022, where it is alleged he bit Kenny Omega. Steel was brought back to the company to work with CM Punk on Collision this summer. Our own Dave Meltzer wrote in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that according to one source, Ace Steel was given back pay for the time he was gone as a concession to CM Punk. However, Steel was not allowed to physically attend Collision shows and would have to work remotely. This led to a delay in announcing CM Punk's return to the company. And speaking of CM Punk, Chris Jericho has commented on CM Punk being fired from All Elite Wrestling. On the latest episode of his podcast, Chris Jericho spoke about his experience in London for All In and addressed an altercation he had with CM Punk at the show. To which he said, "I don't want to dwell on this or talk about it, but I should address it. Of course, CM Punk no longer with AEW, and Wembley was his last match. What a way to go out. I did talk to him briefly. I was going to do a Frankensteiner off the top, and I know that he does that sometimes, so I was just curious if he was doing it. I went and talked to him for a bit and asked him if he was doing it. He wasn't. Then I told him I was going to do the GTS with a straight face, and I think for a second he thought that I was going to, and I was joking, of course. I did see him that day, and once again, it's a regretful moment what happened, but Tony Khan made his decision. Like I said, CM Punk was a big part of AEW for the time he was here, and if you're going to go out, he went out on top for sure." In regards to CM Punk being released from AEW, this is what Tony Khan had to say.
I would very much want to thank CM Punk Phil for everything he did for AEW as a wrestler, but I don't think it was an easy decision for anybody on the discipline committee or the outside counsel or for me to do something like that, but I do think it was the right move, and as far as what's going to happen in the future, I can't speak to that, but I'm not the attorneys who interpret all that language and stuff.
Now let's get into some highlights from AEW Dynamite. Darby Allin and Roderick Strong have advanced to the semifinals at the Grand Slam World Title Eliminator Tournament. Darby Allin defeated Nick Wayne in the main event on Wednesday's Dynamite. Earlier in the show, Roderick Strong defeated Trent Beretta. The two will now advance to Collision on Saturday, where the winner will move on to the finals on next Wednesday's Dynamite. Rampage will see two more quarterfinal matches. Samoa Joe will face Jeff Hardy, while Penta El Cero Miedo will face Jay Lethal. The winners of those matches will also face face one another in the semifinals on Collision. The winner of the tournament will face off against MJF for the AEW World Championship at Grand Slam on September 20th. On Wednesday's Dynamite, Samoa Joe and MJF traded words after the two had an in-ring altercation at All Out this past Sunday. The segment ended with Samoa Joe attacking MJF and targeting his injured neck, with Adam Cole making the save. A four-way match to determine the next challenger for Saraya's Women's Championship is also set. Britt Baker will face Hikaru Shida, Nyla Rose, and Toni Storm. The winner will face Saraya at Grand Slam. And some quick NXT notes. Becky Lynch will challenge for the NXT Women's Championship next week. Champion Tiffany Stratton successfully defended the title on Tuesday's NXT, defeating Kiana James. After the match, Becky appeared on video and wondered what she would do next. She decided that since she's never won the NXT Women's Championship, she would come back to NXT next week and challenge Tiffany Stratton. After the commercial break, the match was made official for next week's show. Some more news. Though she's been making her regular appearances on WWE television, Dakota Kai is still a few months away from being able to return to the ring. Dakota Kai underwent surgery in May to repair a torn ACL. While streaming on Twitch on Monday, Dakota was asked when she might be able to wrestle again. She said she doesn't expect to be back in action until January 2024. A January return could potentially mean that Dakota would be able to compete in the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble match. WWE is touting that Payback 2023 was a record-breaking night for the company. The event took place in Pittsburgh on Saturday night, and that was the first Payback pay-per-view since 2020. In a press release issued on Tuesday, WWE stated that this was the most watched and highest-grossing Payback ever. Payback's viewership was up 36% from the prior record in 2016. This year's Payback aired on Peacock, of course, while the 2016 one was aired on the network. The gate was up 13% from the previous record, which was also at Payback 2016. WWE states that it's the highest grossing event for any WWE show ever held in Pittsburgh. They wrote, in addition, Payback broke the all-time event merchandise record in partnership with special event retail partner Fanatics. Merchandise sales were up 182% versus the previous record set in 2017. 2023 Payback was also the most viewed social payback of all time, with a combined 146 million social media views. Gunther is now officially recognized as the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in WWE history. On Thursday, WWE posted a graphic on social media congratulating Gunther on reaching the milestone. Paul Triple H Levesque also sent out a message congratulating him. Gunther's Intercontinental title reign has reached the 454-day mark. Honky Tonk Man's reign was also 454 days, but is recognized as 453 by WWE. Gunther became Intercontinental Champion by defeating Ricochet on the June 10th, 2022 episode of SmackDown. To ensure that his reign would be record-breaking, Gunther defeated Chad Gable in the main event of Raw this week. That's a wrap for this episode of The Latest. Catch you on the next one.